your goal was 50 million in 3 years. I want to point out, because something, every time I've spoken to you, the financial goals are, they're important. They're important for any business.
Yeah.
But that's not been your main focus. And by the story that you've told guys already today, that's quite clear already. You're thinking, well, this has changed my health, and it's about, essentially the death of your lovely friend. And they're our friends, right? They're our furry friends.
I wanted to do something which was going to improve the planet. And as much as stag and hen parties are good fun, they're not necessarily improving the planet. So that was one of the important things that I really wanted to make sure that this business was about improving the well-being of people and pets. So that's always been the driver. Now, I knew that if I was going to, because I have to disrupt the pet food industry. It's run by a lot of fairly big, well-known household names. There's a lot of people who would not want us to succeed for lots of reasons, both in the veterinary world and the pet manufacturing. So when you know pet manufacturing world, but when you know you've got a big mission, you have challenges growing any business. And either there can be a speed bump or there can be Everest, depending on how big you're looking. So the reason I had that 50 million was I knew in order to change the pet food industry, I had to be thinking that big. I actually wanted to build a £1 billion business. That was my goal. Well, at least start. I don't think I necessarily want to run it. But that's how big you need to think if you're going to do something meaningful and change the world. And also it was about the fact that it wasn't about Mark and Tony's show. It wasn't like I was selling ice cream or anything like that. It was, let's build a business. It's not ego-driven. It's not about Mark and Tony. It's about doing right by pets. And that's core of our value. You'll see that in our office. So you've been walking around. That making decisions now is really, really easy because I've got the core values. So I just go, is that making us go faster or slower in the boat? Are we doing in the right direction? So that's why having a mission-led business, and it's very competitive. Like, it's not like I started and no one had thought of pet food before.
That's and there are other companies that do, like Raw and whatnot.
There's tons, probably about 100 brands. So what made us different as a business was just we wanted to build a brand that people could trust. We built a community, and we thought a lot bigger. So that's the only difference. Big action. Having a goal, and then because everyone can think big, but not many people talk about it big, and certainly most people don't act and execute big. So that was all the other differences. I'm not the smartest guy out there. I'm certainly not a vet, and I'm not a scientist.
But you've got a vision.
Just on a mission.
And the heart to follow through with it.
And sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes I wake up with, like the rest of us. But when I just pull back, when I put more on that table, metal, and I look at the videos of the kids with the dogs growing up with them together, I'm just like, that's what I play in my head every time there's a challenge, and that's enough.
I think so when you first introduced me to this idea of Bella and Duke, you'd started the company, and you were asking me about Tilly, and I kind of went, sounds great, buddy, sounds great, and I kind of just I poo-pooed it in my head. I was like, that sounds amazing, but not for me. And I've reflected on that a lot, and I thought, what put me off? Why was I sort of hesitant? And essentially, it was that sort of, it was just slightly obscure. It was like feeding raw. I'm not too sure. I believe what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but it's like it's a little bit uncomfortable. It was a little bit uncomfortable, and it was something that you said that stuck with me that eventually changed my mind. And it was like, you get pet owners and get pet lovers. Which one are you? And I was like, oh man. And every minute I spend with Tilly, I love her a bit, and she's always there for me.
She's great. I mean, when you went that way, she went, Mark, I prefer you, to be fair. And she rolled over and gave me a belly. But I mean, that's a very relaxed.
She's so chilled, and she's honestly, she would do anything. I always make a joke in our house that if Tilly had thumbs, she would literally do the dishes, she would grab you a beer, she would do anything for you, but she doesn't have thumbs.
And then ask for more.
And
Are you happy? 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 Are you happy?
It was funny because like last week I was feeling a bit down, and it's only been really today and yesterday that I was like, I'm feeling down, and I'll come back up again, and I've realised that she's matched my mood. She's always happy, and actually in the past week she's just been a little more subdued, and it's because I'm like, wow, that for me is just connection and love. And I'm like, yeah, you're a pet owner or pet lover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dog owner, dog lover, and like, why would I wouldn't feed my kids crap on a regular basis, the same thing day in, day out. So why would I feed Tilly that?
And that is so true. And I think that's part of building your brand and building your business, is you start to realize that you're not for everyone, and you don't want to be for everyone. Because if you try to be for everyone, you're not nothing for nobody. So, there's going to be people on here who listen to this and still just want to feed it their pets kibble, because that's good enough. That's good enough. And that's fine. And all we can do is educate them and give them that choice. But as you said, pets don't have that choice. And if you think about it, on planet Earth right now, there's something like 8.7 million species on planet Earth.
Wow.
And 99.9999999 reoccurring % eat raw. It's unusual to eat cooked or processed food.
Apart from us humans.
Apart from us humans and the domesticated animals that we look after. And ironically, which are the ones that have the chronic diseases?
Yeah.
There's humans and the domesticated animals. So, I mean, what other proof do they need?
And that's it in a nutshell, right?
And when I do my training with the teams or guys who are working with this, one of the questions I ask, and it's quite a powerful question, I realize, because people don't think about it. I ask the question, how long do you want to live? And my second question is, are you living today in order to achieve that goal?
Yeah.
Because if you want to live to 60, keep eating the shite, keep drinking the shite.
And also, how well do you want to live?
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's like that 80-20. It's not about being perfect, because everybody wants to have fun. Everyone wants to have a few bits and pieces, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But when you eat well, when you treat yourself well, you will live a much happier, healthier life.
Yeah, so it's your health span and your lifespan. Yeah. You want the two to match.
Absolutely.
And what happens quite often is granny's on drugs for the last 20 years of her life because maybe the health span hasn't been there.
Yeah.
Because maybe decisions we make. So, and I say this to my kids all the time. I mean, they still eat crap, but I've educated them. I said, look, you're getting away with it because you're under 18. Yeah. At some point, that's going to hit you.
It's going to catch up with you.
So don't knock your body at this stage. Work with it.